Yeah, been through one. Alright, well, yeah, we went up to Lake Windermere.
Right, can you hear me, boss?
Yes.
Cool. Can you hear us next door? Excellent. Right, that's good. Okay, so let's get my map up a moment. We can see where we're going. There we go. So we're parked at Finley there. So to start our engines, first thing we want to do is these 4 switches here are low pressure fuel cups. So
Right.
if you push all those forward, we'll get some fuel pressure. So these 4 switches here, flick them all forward. And then we know that there's some fuel going into the engine system. All my fuel pumps are all set, gears down. Did Jonathan talk you through some of the instruments before you went? So you got a bit of an idea of what the things are doing here?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we won't waste any time. I'll talk you through. So
No.
There we go. So the next thing we want to do is our engine start. Now down behind you, right in the corner if you can reach, there's a panel with 4 red buttons on it. You see that? And there's 2.
See a panel?
Yeah. There's 4 red buttons and two black buttons. So the black button that's nearest to you, if you press and hold that, what that's doing is just using the air canisters, compressed air canisters, for rapid start to put compressed air into all 4 engines, start to spin them up. As we got some fuel in, eventually this should all light up. That's the theory anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. So we've got one there. Keep it held down. I lit one of them. Let's have a look. Do you want to give that another go? Just to... Might be the way I've reset everything. That's alright. Engines. Find the right engine control. There you go. Okay, so I can let go of that one for now.
Right.
We'll get the other 3 started up. There we are. It's looking sounding a bit more healthy. Right, we've got 1 started. There we go. So that's the other 3. It's all looking good. I can kill the starters on them. Right, let's get the map up. Okay, so here we are parked at Doncaster.
Yep.
You can see, I'll just zoom in a little bit more. We're part of the terminal here, so we're going to turn around to the left because there's a Thompson 737 parked next to us. Don't hit them.
All right.
So we can use our feet for steering. So just your feet and just on the little panels there. That controls the rudder and the nose wheel of the aircraft.
Right.
So we can use that to steer us around. So all we want to do is, if you want to add a little bit of power just to get ourselves rolling. There you go. See the fuel flow's building up a little bit there. That's it. So we're rolling forward now and then using the left foot to kick us round. That's it. And we'll follow this yellow line round out onto the taxiway. So we're going to do a big 180. I'm going to put my phone to silent, as you do. So even though this was built in 1960, they still put mobile phone holders in.
Did they?
Keep going to the left and we go up that taxiway over there. That's it. That's all right.
Yeah. Missing the pedal somewhere.
That's it. No, you're all right. That's it. I'll just give you a little dab of brake. So the stick won't do anything on the ground, yeah. There's just a little bit of pedal left and right. And if we feel like we're going a bit slow, just to add a tiny bit of power, get us moving again. There you go. There we go, so just a little bit more power. So a nice gentle press on the pedals, normally does the job. Imagine that nose wheel's just behind us, about quite a few feet behind us.
Yeah.
They move about 30 degrees either way, so with full pedal press, so you don't need an awful lot. I'll keep an eye on your brakes for you. That's it. So a little bit of right pedal now. Take us over to the right. You can see on this little indicator here shows the rudder movement as well. That's very nice. We're at 10 knots, which is ideal for taxiing. I never taxi around really very fast at all. These things aren't really designed for driving on the ground. So that's it. So if you feel like you're going a bit slow, just a little burst of power. That's it. So I've got your brakes for you, so don't worry too much about that. That's it. Takes a bit of getting used to.
Yeah. Steering with your feet rather than your hands.
A little bit less power. Bear in mind we've basically got 4 Concorde engines behind us, so that's a lot of power. So left over there and then right onto the runway. There we go. See the fire service are out ready for us. It's good. Good thing is, once we're airborne, you don't need the pedals at all. It's all done on the stick. Yeah. That's it. And we'll get ourselves lined up on the centre line of the runway. So you've done this bit before, I guess?
No, we went. Basically, we were here. We just took off.
Oh right, yeah. That's it. So keep coming around from the yellow line round to the nicely pointed up the middle of the runway. Nice sunny day anyway, so decent weather for you.
Out there, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrible out there. That's it. So as you're fairly happy, just bring the power back and all. So you want the runway, centre line the runway up the middle of your middle window, more or less. There we go. Something like that. That's okay. So I'm just going to bring us to a bit of a stop there. Right. So the takeoff procedure in a Vulcan, Jonathan's probably talked already with you about it. We're on in the 737 down there. We have to program in all this information about how many passengers we got, the weights, and it calculates the optimal amount of thrust to use for takeoff, so we don't have excess engine wear, and we can use a bit more runway. Never did that in the Vulcan. I always did a full power takeoff. So what we do first is I'll hold the brakes on for you, and then we're going to wind the power right up and just check all 4 engines here are coming up. The RPM's rising. And then I'll let go of the brakes and we'll start trundling down the runway. And when we get to 100 knots, so you'll be looking out of the window, and just a little light touch on those pedals just to keep yourself on the centre line best you can, and stick in the middle, just about there. And I'll call 100 knots. It's very important at that point you call check. You want to make sure you're still alive and haven't passed out and you're in charge of the aircraft. It's called the incapacitation check, and it's also a decision point. So say we had a problem, like there was another aircraft blocking the runway or something happened and we had to stop. Up to about 100 knots, there's enough runway left to stop, but after that, even if we're on fire, we're going into the air and sorting it out. We won't be, don't worry. Does that all make sense? So, so what I'll do is I'm gonna just hold the brakes on. So if you want to go full power now, make sure we get that howl. I'm going to check all the RPMs are rising, which they are, and I'll let go of the brakes. And now, if you're looking out the window, you want a tiny bit of right pedal, that's it. And I'm watching your airspeed while you're looking. So that's 100 knots, are you still alive, sir?
Yeah.
Excellent. And you want to start to pull back gently on the stick now. So rotate, so nice gentle pull back. Get ourselves airborne, a little bit more. That's it. And we're looking to raise the nose somewhere about there, about 15 degrees. And then a little bit of right stick just to keep your wings level, that's it. And you can see this little circle here shows the midpoint. You can see we're climbing away nicely now, 4,000 feet a minute. We're at 350 knots, so I'm going to get the gear up because we should have done that a bit before. You can see that kind of angle we're at now.
Yeah.
Gear's coming up. And we'll just keep flying this way in a nice gentle climb, that's very good. A lot of people yank the stick right back and you go up, but it's, you want to better see a little bit out the window.
Yeah.
So we see our direction here, this is us, little circle, we're heading just slightly southwest at the moment, up through these clouds. And we've just exceeded the sound barrier. So if you want to pull the power back to about 3/4, I'm going to put the air brakes out. That means I've got another call back into the group captain's office when we get home, and bits will start to fall off the plane. So I should have asked you to pull them back a bit sooner. So that's good. We're flying at about 80% of the speed of sound now, climbing at 4,000 feet a minute. We crossed 10,000 feet a little while ago. How long did that take? About 30 seconds?
Not so long, was it?
You know, when you go on your commercial flight, you're going on holiday or business or whatever, it seems to take an age before they turn the seatbelt signs off. They do that at 10,000 feet, so you see the difference in performance.
Yeah.
So we're coming up, getting close to 20,000 feet. So let's take a right turn now over this way. You can see out the window, and I can see the Wirral over there in the distance. So we're going to head to our compass points roughly west, slightly northwest. You can see it's getting a bit hillier as well.
Yeah.
When we go over the Peak District. And I'll have a look on the map, show you where we are. I think we're probably down near Sheffield somewhere. That's it. Now, what do you think the most important instrument is in a Vulcan? Or any aircraft, can't think of it.
That one.
It's actually the view out the window.
Well, yeah.
So you can see, that tells you a lot about what's happening with the aircraft. So you can see we're in a turn, looking at the horizon, but can you also see we're descending a little bit?
Yeah.
So just pull back slightly on the stick. You want the horizon line to be about where that third bolt is on the window.
Right.
That's level flight roughly. There you go. You see that road down there just below us?
Yeah.
That's the M1.
All right.
So that's looking pretty good. And can you see over in the distance there's some water and a rectangular piece of land?
Yeah.
That's the Wirral,
Right.
so that's where we're aiming. So if we're just straighten up there, keep your eyes out the window on the Wirral. That's looking pretty good. So that's all looking nice. So at the moment, this is called our variometer. This shows out how many thousands of feet a minute we're climbing or descending. So that's a very nice steady climb. Nose is pitched at about 4 or 5 degrees, perfect. We're at just under 80% of the speed of sound. That's sort of similar speed to, it's about the top speed for a 737. That's going pretty fast. And Jumbo Jet, for example, will fly at about Mach 7.9, which is its top speed. So that's about the fastest subsonic aircraft about these days. So the Vulcan could go considerably quicker than that.
Not bad for 1950s, is it?
No, exactly. Yeah, this is based on 602, which is built about 1960, I think. We used the one in the Heritage Museum down at Woodford. Took all our measurements from it. There we go. So that's all looking pretty good. So everything's looking nice and stable. So it's all about nice small movements.
Yeah.
But if you want to throw it around a bit, one of my favourite things to do is a barrel roll. So if you fancy a
all the way around.
Yeah. So the important thing with the barrel roll is to pick a point you want to appear back at when you've done your roll, so you know where you are. So you can see the Mersey estuary there. That's pretty good. We're in a slight descent, which is fine. So to roll the aircraft over, we're going to flick the stick left or right, whatever way suits you. So when you're ready, turn the stick to the left. As we roll over, you want to start pushing forward to keep the nose up, because everything's upside down.
Right.
Pushing down makes the nose go up. There you go, very nice. That's it. That's upside down. As we roll over, start to pull back a little bit. Very nice. And you see we've got a bit of a descent going there, so we need to pull back just a little bit more. That's a barrel roll. Can't do that in a real Vulcan, of course. Allegedly.
It nearly did on the last flight.
You see, as we've started a bit of a dive, we've got a little bit fast. Interesting thing, when we go over about this is the top speed of a Vulcan, about 9496. Two things start to happen. One, there's a lot of paperwork to do because we're not allowed to do it, and the other one is that the bits start to fall off the aircraft in the airflow. So what they did, you know, the elevons at the back that control our pitch and turn. There's a system called a Mach trimmer, and what that does is it stops them moving too much when we're at high speed.
Right.
As we get faster, it restricts the movement. So what you'll find is if you get over Mach 1 and you're pulling the stick up out of a dive, you won't have much control over it. So the first thing you do if you overspeed is to slow down to give you a bit more control. And that's what this switch is useful for. This is the air brakes. Just see if I put them on, there's a little indicator there. Excuse me. They're the big barn doors that come out of the top and bottom of the wing that very useful in a dive to stop us overspeeding. Also on landing as well, we'd have the air brakes out on landing. Imagine a jet engine. It takes a while for it to spool up from 0 power to full power. So for a landing, we want to have them a bit spooled up, so there's some power on if we had to go around. So to counteract that power, we have the air brakes out on landing, so they'll go away really quickly, and then we've still got enough power. Imagine if you landed without them. You're coming down and you're about 20 feet and you think, oh crikey, there's a guy on the runway, I'm not going to go around. By the time you push the levers forward and the engines are spooled up, you'd have already landed. So that's what air brakes do. And like in your commercial jet, that's why they pull that flap out on landing. It helps keep the aircraft stable at slow speeds, but it's also creating a lot of drag to counteract the engine power, because you want that excess engine power on there in case we go around. There we go. So look where we are. I think that's Morecambe Bay over there, isn't it? So let's turn down towards Liverpool. So if you turn to the left, and we'll just go to the end of the ship canal there. See the nice straight Manchester ship canal.
Line there, yeah.
So where are you guys from? You local?
Bradford, West Yorkshire.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
We got here early because it was snowing when we left at home.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty bad. Yeah.
I thought I'll make sure I get there and then.
Yeah, sorry about the fault with the visuals there. It's a bit of a strange one, that.
Can't be helped really, can it?
It's Microsoft for you.
Yeah. Yes, we've got a Windows computer too.
Let's keep the turn on. You can turn a little bit steeper if you like. These window frames, if you got them level with the horizon, that's about 45 degree bank, and this shows that's 30 degrees. Then they don't show 45, but that's about 60 degrees angle of bank. So it's just quite a stable aircraft. If you let go of everything, it'll still fly. It won't fall out of the sky. And we had Al McDickin, who's the test pilot for 558 when it got put back into service, came in and helped us set it all up. Okay, so let's go into a bit of a descent now. So we'll pull the power all the way back to idle and lower the nose till you can see Liverpool down below us. That's it. And you can pull it down. You can go quite steep with the power back. I'll keep an eye on your airspeed. And we'll just head up to the end of the Mersey there, and we'll fly along the Mersey estuary. So you rugby league fan? Been in Bradford?
Yeah. The wife is more than me really, but.
I used to work for Sky as an engineer, so many an hour doing rugby league.
Then, won't you?
Are they still going, the Bradford team?
Yeah. They're out of the Premiership now. But.
That's right, yeah. I used to do a lot at Hull and Wigan, Huddersfield, Giants. And
awful lot of rugby clubs up the north, aren't there?
Yeah, all M62.
Yeah.
Used to be nice when we got Catalan though. We used to do that about twice a year, and they'd fly us out there. We'd sun ourselves for a day or two. There we go. We're right through the middle of that cloud. And that's nice because we're descending, of course. Don't need so much power. The gravity's giving us that extra bit of thrust. It's like a glider, really. So we're obviously cleared for flying an instrument, so we go right through the middle of the cloud, and we'll get to about 3,000 or 4,000 feet and level off, and then we'll fly along the coast. So just over there, a bit hard to see. It's Liverpool Airport, so we'll go fairly low across that. So what I want to do now is start to pull back on the stick till the horizon's just sort of near the bottom of the window. We've got a bit of excess speed at the moment, so that's okay. We can, but just about now, start to pull up about half power. You see that white light there over in the distance, little grey strip? That's the runway at Liverpool.
All right.
We'll overfly that as we go around. There you go, you can just see the taxiways, and then we'll take it around to the right over the coast. So it's not greatest day today weather-wise, but you can see in the mist over there, that's sort of North Wales. There you go, and you got Liverpool Airport there, so we're going to fly right along the Mersey, past the docks, and then up the coast past Southport. There you go, you can see on our map here how we're doing. It's all looking very smooth. So.
Yeah. Better than the last one, we did a loop on the
I'm too scared to do them. I'm getting old. There you go. So there's Liverpool Airport there. So if you want to turn, bank it around. As you turn, a little bit of back pressure on the stick as well, just to keep the nose up. That's good. We've got a nice speed on. So in the real world, if you're below 10,000 feet, normally the speed limit's 250 knots. But we've had special permission. They sometimes give it. There you go. So a little bit of nose up now. You can see we're descending a little bit. So pull back a bit. That's it. Keep that turn going nice. Very nice. There you go. You see as we climb, our airspeed starts to bleed off a little bit, but we're plenty fast, so that's no problem. That's it. As you see the end of the estuary there, just start to bank left a little bit. So we've got a bit of a view of underneath. So you can see the docks over there. We've got the old Speak Airport down there as well. You can just see where they obviously built most of the houses on most of the runways now. There you go. And this is all the docks there. We get the ferry. If you're into golf, you've got Hoy Lake out on the end of the Wirral there. That's the where they do the Open.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Very nice. Not sure what that tower is. I keep meaning to find out about that one. Down there. There you go. I don't know if you can see over there, just on the right. Can you see two football grounds there?
Yeah,
Anfield and Goodison Park. You see how close they are together.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Been through Liverpool. I used to drive a truck and a coach. Well, coaches first, then trucks. So the way out of the docks at Liverpool. Talking too much.
Yeah, we'll just follow the coast all the way around now. And, you usually tell actually people who drive coaches and lorries tend to fly a bit better, which is good. Yeah, they've got a bit more of an appreciation. Do you think a Vulcan's about the size of a small 737? So
it's not.
It's not a small aircraft. Cockpit's small.
Oh, it is. I wouldn't like to think I flew all the way to the Falklands in one of these.
Not the most comfortable. We've made the seats about as tough as they were in the real one. Let's have a look at the weather actually, see if I can just adjust the clouds a bit. There we go. Add a little bit of variety to the proceedings. So obviously they didn't have the big GPS up here like we do. But we don't have a navigator or nav plotter or nav radar or an AEO, so we have to look after ourselves. So just keep turning in towards the coast. So you got the beach down there, I think that's Formby down there.
Yeah.
I think Southport. Nice. So can you see it sort of opening up a little bit here? This is the Ribble estuary.
All right.
So in the distance there, over the other side, you can see there's a long sandy beach. Kind of curves around. You've got Lytham St Anne's and the beach that's sort of heading away from us. That's Blackpool. That's exactly where we're aiming. So if you aim for the beach at Blackpool, keep about this height on, I would think. When we get about halfway across the estuary, we'll descend down to maybe about 1,000 feet.
Right.
And then we're going to do a bit of a high-speed run. So interesting facts about if you're into narrow boats or canals, you've got the Rufford branch of the Leeds Liverpool Canal comes out down there at Tarleton.
Yeah.
But to get onto the Lancaster Canal, you have to take your narrow boat across the estuary and up a place called Savick Brook to get on it.
Yeah.
So these boats aren't really designed for anything but canals. They take them across the estuary to. I've seen some videos of it. It's quite scary. There you go, it's sort of Southport down. I think it's Southport. Yeah, that's it. And then Lytham St Anne's and Blackpool. And you just about make the tower out now. I don't know if you can see that shimmering away in the distance.
Just about, I think.
Yeah, so what we'll do now is just a nice gradual descent down to about 1,000 feet. Enjoying it?
Yeah.
Is it worth hanging around?
Of course, yeah, definitely.
So there you go, that's the River Ribble. out on the right there.
Yeah.
And we're going to, when we do our approach, we need to keep an eye out on that. You can just see Blackpool Airport starting to shimmer away a little bit at the buildings in the distance there. And the tower. So that's somewhere around there. Start to just pull back gently on the stick now. So get us level. So a little bit back pressure now. That's it. I think that's probably low enough. We're about 600 feet. A little bit back on the stick. That's it. Just help you out. Cool. So just aim just to the left of the tower. Just clearing the airport there. And just to give everyone a bit of a nice sight of the Vulcan, we'll go full power. So they get the nice howl of the engines as we go past.
Now? Oh.
Yeah, full power now. I just raised the nose a bit, and that bit of land that's sticking out just past the tower there, that's Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And that's our crossing point for crossing over the base. And when we get past the tower, we'll start to pull back on the stick. Nice bit of showing the Bombay doors off there. Just bring the power back a bit now. Get your air brakes out, and a bit of right hand down. That's it, bit of back pressure. I'll help you out a little bit. There we go. Got nice and low there. That's it. And just keep the power as it is, and we'll climb ourselves up to about 3,000 feet. Very nice. So down here, you can lower the nose a little bit just so you can see. That's a place called Fleetwood, which we went to about a week ago actually. Me and the missus. There's a really nice fish and chip shop on that corner there by the beach. We took the dog running around. Well worth a visit. It's nice, just a quiet little seaside town, not so big as Blackpool, you know.
No, whenever we went to Blackpool, we always stayed in Cleveland.
Yeah, I've got the
tram in. Yeah. A lot easier in and out.
Yeah, so I recommend Fleetwood as well. So not, it's quite a quiet little town.
Yeah.
The fish and chips are really good there.
Nice market of Fleetwood, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So what you can see here, we've got you got Lancaster and Morecambe out on the right, and on the left that's Barrow Furnace, where they built all the submarines for the Royal Navy. And I just want to climb up just a tiny little bit. And that's a pretty good heading you're on now. Pretty much bang on the nose. It's quite hard to see at the moment. It's Windermere. Right. So we'll aim for that. And what we'll do is descend down and go low level again. So you got the harbour there at Morecambe on the right there.
Yeah.
See? And Lancaster over there. Excuse me. So we're looking for, can you see that big body of water that's sort of swirling away in the distance there? That's your aiming point, that's Windermere. And they did fly Vulcans low level over there in practice, so we're going to do exactly the same.
Right.
Just bring the power back just slightly. That's it. So it's a bit like when you're driving, you know, when you're on a motorway and you go up a hill, you add a bit of gas, and when you go down a hill, you take a bit away to maintain a speed. That's exactly how it works in an aeroplane. So this is where this instrument's quite useful. This is our radar altimeter, so it's using a radar to bounce off the bottom of the aircraft to show our height above the ground. So you'll see as we get above these hills, it'll start to jiggle about, showing you what's below you.
Yeah.
So when you're over the lake, I'd say probably no lower than a couple 100 feet. You'll be able to see your height then. So that's good. Our airspeed's all nice now. The Vulcan was a great low-level aircraft because of the big, thick wings, so it didn't suffer fatigue but so much as the Valiant particularly did. And the Victor, they tend to keep for more high-level stuff, which meant it's great for the aircraft, but it's quite a bumpy ride for the crew. A lot of the guys have said that, especially when you're flying through hills where there's lots of wind kind of bouncing off the hills, kicking you about. So wasn't too bad in the front because you can see out, you know, like when you're in a car or something like that. But apparently it wasn't very nice for the guys in the back who had a little porthole. That's all looking good. So just descend yourself down over the lake, and I'll keep an eye on your altitude. So we're about 1,000 feet, just under 1,000 feet at the moment. Yeah, that's about 500. When it gets below, it's showing our altitude now. Yeah, we've got to change automatically. And the rear aircraft has a switch down there.
Right.
it's a bit hard to get people to look down when they're at this low level. So there you go. That's pretty good. That's about about 150 feet there. So you see the lake kind of goes round to the left in a sec. So take it around there. Very nice. So can you see that big hill that's like it's got a massive crater in it? Just to the left of that, can you see there's a little dip in the hills there? That's where we're going. So we're going to hop over the little bit of hill. This is down near Grassmere. So I think it's where they normally camp out to go up Scaffold Pike, which is the tallest hill. I'm not sure which one it is, but that's what I'm told. So aim for that sort of dip in the hills. It's more or less on the nose now. That's it. Just a tiny bit of power as well. I say, and lower the nose a bit so we can see where we're going. Yeah, can you see there's a little gap there?
Yeah.
And we're going to go down nice and low, and you'll see there's a road that goes through that little gap, that little valley. And there's a famous picture of a vulcan flying through there. If you get low enough, sometimes you see the odd car driving down the road as well. Got them programmed in the system. So a bit of nose down now. And get yourself down through that little gap there. So a little bit more nose down. That's it. Power's good there. In fact, a little bit more power actually. We're starting to slow down. That's it. And you see the road, so we'll get nice down in that gap there, and that'll take us out towards Thirlmere then. We'll go over there. Doing a lovely job. Sure, the customers like this. I don't instruct much these days, but it's nice when you get someone who's got the hang of it. There you go, so there's the road, and we'll aim for the gap there. Good, very nice. You're about 600 feet, so that's all good. And you can see there's a bit of a lake just over the way there. Excuse me. There you go nice and low if you feel like it. A tiny bit more power. And we'll just go around to the right, and then it sort of bears around to the left. You might want a bit of power, just get yourself on a bit of a climb. We'll probably get over the top of this little bit of mountain there. Very nice around by the lakes. I think it's one of my favourite places to fly around. I think it should open up to the left somewhere. It's down over there. Yeah. There's another lake just down over on the left, and I can't remember what that one's called, so I'll have to look up on that. There you go. So see that lake down on the left there? I'll head over towards there. So you've visited many volcans.
Pardon?
Have you been round to many of the volcans and the museums and stuff?
Yeah. We've been on the tour, spinning
round to the right a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I recommend the Heritage Centre down at Woodford. Well worth a visit. Alright, doing a nice job. So I'll just give you a bit of nose down trim. There we go. So that water out, that's the Solway Firth.
Right.
And that's Scotland over the other side. So what we'll do is we'll take it around to the left and head down the coast. And you can see it flattens out quite a bit, and then it gets a lot hillier in the distance over Scotland.
Yeah.
Did you get this far before?
No,
no, right, okay,
yeah. We just sort of gone round Lake Wyndham here, and that's when it all started going wrong.
Okay, so we'll head down that coastline down on the left there. Of course, the weather's quite good at the moment, so just to give you an idea of what it could be like. It's a bit more stormy now. You find yourself getting blown around a bit. There's the coast down on the left there. Can't really see much with the storm though. So
We're going to say no. Oh, I see the coast now, yeah.
That's it. A little bit of nose down now. Just climbing a bit steep. That's it. So push forward. So if in doubt, push forward so you can see out the window.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the coast down below us. This is sort of fairly typical of the weather at the moment, actually. You find if you get under the clouds, it'll be snowing.
All right.
I'll aim for that gap in the clouds there, I think. We sort of just head towards the coast, duck underneath that bit of cloud there, so yeah, see if we can see anything. Yeah, you can fly through them, that's not a problem. Oh, there we go, there's the snow.
Snowing.
Yeah. It's turned a bit nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we can have all sorts of, you can have a major thunderstorm, there you go. Rain now, so it's a bit of lightning, maybe. You feel it getting blown around a bit as well? There you go, some lightning. And, there you go, I'll go back to a nice sunny day for you. So. Here's your nice plot on the map there, it's very good.
Oh yeah.
So I think we're down near a place called, is it Ravenglass, I think it's called?
Oh yeah. Been there.
And that's the estuary just over this bit of land that goes out towards Barrow. So we'll aim over that way. There's a little airstrip there as well called Walney Island, but it's a bit short for us to get a Vulcan in, but they use it to fly in a lot of Navy crews and things like that. The MOD use it.
Hardly seem to be moving, do it?
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's the height. And you look at the land down there, we're all cranking it on quite a lot, 440 knots. So nearly 500 miles an hour. If you want to take a lazy turn over to the left now, we'll head inland. out for submarines. Keep going to the left a bit. We want to cross over this side of the bay. Want a little bit more power if you like. So if you want to straighten up about there, what we'll do now is descend down a little bit. We're going to be looking out for the M6. So that's Morecambe Bay there. Right over there on the right, you can see Blackpool.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to be landing there, but we're going to do a big rectangular approach. So we're going to fly towards the M6, down the M6, hang right at Preston. So you can see Windermere as we go across in a minute. There it is, down on about your 11 o'clock.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so just straighten up there. And we'll be looking out for the M6 shortly. And it's going to be going right across our path, so the easiest way to look for it is to look left and right to see the road snaking away. You've got Morecambe down there, you can see the harbour, so that's good. We know we're roughly going the right direction. And it's getting hillier ahead, that'll be the Pennines. So it's a quick check of our instruments, so we're at 6,500 feet, in a slight climb, fairly level though. Airspeed's just under Mach decimal 8, which is 490 knots. And our compass is telling us we're heading more exactly due east,
yeah.
Okay, so we want to start a bit of a turn around to the right now to pick up the M6, which I can see sort of snaking away there. That's it. That's it. Keep that turn going. Turn a little bit steeper if you like, it's not a problem. Obviously when we're in the cloud we've got some instruments to give us an idea. That's it, very nice. That's it, a little bit of back on the stick, keep the nose up. That's it, keep coming round to the right. So you can see it's getting quite hilly here.
Yeah.
So this is the top end of the Pennines. So we know that the motorway should be on the right of those. So we'll aim over to the right a bit more. You see your radar altitude's kind of changing a little bit with the ground's come up below us.
Down, yeah.
There's about 800 feet difference between that and their actual right above sea level. There you go. So if you want to lower the nose a little bit now, bring the power back just slightly as well. But it's in a descent. So we've got Morecambe, Lancaster over on the right there. And we're looking for the M6. I can just about see it actually. It's coming across at about 45 degrees to us. Can you see it there? That's what we want to follow. So let's get ourselves down to about maybe 4,000 feet, something like that. And then we'll fly right over the top of the M6. So normally in an aircraft, if you're flying alongside a landmark like a river or a road, you keep it on your left, so you fly on the right. That's why captains sit on the left. Then they can look out the window and see the landmarks. But for today, we can just fly right over the top of it. So I see Blackpool Tower over there, which is good. See those radio masts right on the nose, flickering away. We just want to go to the left to follow the motorway. But they belong to the Navy. They're long-range communications for submarines and things like that, and ships. One of them used to be dedicated to the Royal Yacht Britannia. That's it. So slow the nose down. That's it. Push forward. Bit of left hand down as well. We're looking out. We'll fly over the motorway. We're looking out for the M55 junction, which is the motorway that goes in towards Blackpool. Can you see it just coming up? There's nice gentle movements now. We're at a good height. Bring the power back a little bit. We just want to slow down slightly. Just after the junction, so that's Preston. And you can see the River Ribble coming across.
There,
we want to have that on your left hand side. So just after the junction, we're going to do a right hand turn, 90-degree turn. 90. We're turning, not turning over at 90 degrees. So you can see the junction there. So that's it. So we want the M55 on the right and the Ribble on the left. It's a little bit less power now. That's it. I'm going to bring your spoilers out a touch. That's it. Not quite so steep turns now. Let's shallow that off a bit. That's it. Lower the nose now. Perfect. Right, and if we keep on this heading, I don't know if you can see straight ahead, there's a runway. That's not the one we're going to be landing on, that's Warton.
Right.
You see the little white light there in the runway?
Yeah.
Just aim towards that for the moment. That's good because you see we've got the River Ribble on our left and the radio mast on our right over here, so we know we're in the right place. So we'll keep aiming with the runway at Warton, that's the BAE Systems place for the moment. And then out in the distance, about your 1 o'clock position, can you see it's hard to see, there's a red light there. That's the end of the runway we're landing on at Blackpool.
Alright.
So just keep going at this for the minute. Just going to give you a little bit more power. When you're ready, if you want to press this down button, that'll drop the landing gear. Yeah. I'm going to put the spoilers out. So we might need a little bit more power to counteract all that drag now from the landing gear. So I'll look after your power if you want to concentrate on the flying bit of it. So can you see the runway out in the distance there? Red light on the end of it at 1 o'clock position. You see the airport building, so there's a little black field just ahead of it. If we aim to fly over that, we should be nicely lined up. So you want to keep the runway in about a couple of inches above the bottom of the windscreen, give you an idea, so it's just in view.
Yeah.
So that red light basically says we're probably a little bit low on our approach. So if you just raise the nose up, just till it's just in sight. There we go, just do my checks, gears down, spoilers are out, I've got the thrust. And we're going to pretty much aim the aircraft next to those red lights. And I'll talk you through the landing procedure in a moment when we actually get down. So can you see the runway there, nice stretching out?
Nice black line, is it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Right.
So aim for the beginning of the black line. There you go, so it's just over onto the right, so just a little turn to the right. That's it. And you can see there's some sort of white rectangles next to those lights. That's the touchdown zone, that's where we're aiming to touch down. So just keep aiming at those rectangles. That's it. A little bit of nose up now, so pull back. Pull back. That's it. Keep aiming at those rectangles. I'll help you out on the pedals a bit. Now start to look at the far end of the runway and just raise the nose up, so pull back just so you can see the far end. Perfect.
Right,
that's it. I've got your brakes, so keep the wings level now with the stick.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. That's alright. And just lower the nose gently to the ground, just a little bit of forward pressure, that's plenty. And that's pretty good for a first go.
Oh.
There you go. Alright, you can just release the pressure back now so we don't drop the nose into the ground. There you go. Very nice.
Oh, very good.
Do you want to have a go at landing? That scared you enough the first time? I'll see if I can set us up for another one. Take a little second to load.
Yeah.
So with the runway, imagine this is the runway. You start off by looking at the forward bit of it, and when you get quite low, start to take your gaze to the end and just raise the nose up. Then it means the back wheels are going to
land first. Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So can you see these lights next to the touchdown zone there? You've got white and red little lights there called approach path indicators. So they change colour depending on the angle you're viewing them from. So if you've got like half and half, we're on the ideal glide path.
Yeah.
If you see them all go red, it means we're just a bit shallow and a bit low. If they're all white, we're a bit high. So that's this ideal place. So where the runway is, once I sort of release you, just raise the nose a bit till it's sort of about level with this bolt here, about here, and hold it at that, and it should come down nicely. And the other thing to remember is, obviously the stick rolls your wings left and right like this. So of course, when you're coming down to touchdown, you don't want to do that. Your wing into the ground, so it's stick in the middle just on touchdown, and then we use feet on the rudder pedals. Just to keep the nose straight. I can help you out with that. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Off we go. So a little bit of nose up now. I'm watching your airspeed. That's perfect. So it's all about just small corrections now, just to keep it coming down at that angle. You see, we've got one right light of 3 reds. So if we just raise the nose a little bit, just to extend that glide. So we've just got a bit low. So just bring the nose up a bit more. That's it. And we're drifting a little bit to the left, so just a little check to the right till it lines up. There you go. A little bit more to the right. A little bit of nose up. We don't want to touch down too early. A little bit more to the right. So another trick. That's it. So we're a little bit of an angle. So just before we touch down, we'll use a little bit of left pedal just to straighten our nose up. So look at the end of the runway now. Keep aiming down. Just before we touch down, just check the nose back a little bit, pull back slightly just to raise it. That's it. And I've got your brakes, and then use your feet just to steer yourself straight. So stick in the middle, feet to steer. Perfect. All right. Done it two times in a row. So what we'll do now, so we'll use your feet for steering. We'll taxi ourselves back in, park up, and shut the engines down.
Right. Is that right here, or?
Yeah, you can take it right along here, or you can go. Yeah, here's fine actually. So just follow this grey line. So stick in the middle, feet to steer. So a bit of right foot. That's it. A little bit of power just to keep yourself going. And map up so you see where we are. Enjoy it.
Yeah.